All right, so we have the same image here. All right, and the question we're going to try to answer is the image reads the ruler circumvents, ignores, or uses assemblies to approve or rubber stamp the ruler's initiatives. Why would an absolute monarch circumvent or ignore getting approval of their initiatives on their initiatives and laws? Well, think about it. So it's going to be focusing on this part right here. Why would they ignore the people? Okay, because they're in charge. They can. Why would they ignore? Because they are the ruler. They're the absolute ruler. The absolute ruler. They can do whatever they want. If they don't want to listen to what the people think, they don't have to. If they do want to listen to what the people think, they can. All right? They're in charge. They can do what they want. And that's what it all comes down to. All right? If they don't want to listen, they don't have to listen. If they think it's a good idea for them to tax everybody, $50 a day, well, guess what? They can tax everybody $50 a day because they are the absolute rulers. They can do that. All right. All right. Pretty easy one. Now let's go to the next slide. All right. We got this picture again. So this says the rulers control religious authorities. We're talking about religious authorities. In the 16th, 17th, 18th century, religious authorities were the clergy in the Catholic Church. How would controlling the religious authorities allow the absolute monarch to maintain or consolidate power? So now we're talking about this one. So how would basically controlling the church allow them to maintain power? Well, what did life revolve around? Life during these times revolved around what? Life revolved around the church. Okay? People went to church. People's personal lives, what they believed in as far as religion goes, that's how they acted. So if he had control of the church, he had control of everybody. Okay? And that's kind of what that boiled down to. Let's go to our next one. Okay, so we got a new picture here. Okay? It's kind of hard to read, so I'll read it for you. This is kind of going off that last slide. Divine right was the 16th to 18th century belief that God directly gave power to the absolute monarch to rule. Since the king received his authority to rule directly from God, this meant that the king had the right to rule completely and totally without the approval of the people. That is very important. I'm going to try to do this really skinny too so we can see it a little better. Had the right, well, that didn't work. Without the approval of people. This also means that the king is God's representative on earth, and as such, only God can judge the king. James I of England is quoted to have said, a Deo Rex, a rege lex, or the king is from God and the law is from the king. All right. So then we got this picture here. Okay. And so we're going to observe three things we see in the image. Okay. Let's look at the image. So we have obviously a king, right? Here's a few things we can see. Where is the king in comparison to the rest of the city? He's like above it in the clouds, okay, like in the heavens. All right, let's look at this looks like a cross. All right, I know it's a sword, but it looks like a cross, right? Um, so those are some things that you can notice right there. Look at these pictures down here. All right, what's the biggest building? What's the biggest building? I'm going to do this in red. What is the biggest building in the town? Well, it looks like a church to me. Okay. So people are really, they believe in the church. Okay. We have army. We have his castle here. Okay. We have the church is on like the same level as the castle. All right. Let me show you that a little bit better there. So we have, here's what looks like his castle. Here's what looks like a church. It's no coincidence that they are on the same level. Okay. We have some other things like this looks like some type of a weapon. All right. So there's a lot of things you can look in here. I would say the main things, though, is we want to notice that the king himself or whoever this guy is in charge is above the rest of the people. Okay. So he's like in the heavens. We have this church here. We have the church in and the castle on the same level. Okay, we have his sword that is in the shape of a cross. Okay, so there's a bunch of things you can look at here. Based on your observations, what do you think absolute monarchs were like in Europe? Do you think they were nice people? Do you think they were mean people? Do you think they abused their power? What do you think? All right. Nice, mean, abused power. Were they fair? Okay. Did they care about the people? Who knows? All right. What do you think?